You mentioned Ray J. Ray J always goes viral.
Doing what?
Just doing wild shit, saying crazy shit. What is your thoughts on Ray J?
Brandy got more heart than do. I need Brandy to come say obviously having a nervous breakdown. He's having suppressed memories of oral fixations. Diddy that he didn't love on that too hard. He didn't put love on that. He didn't put booty dookie love on that. This nigga online, how do we know that Diddy went up in that boy ass? And they ain't come out during the court case, right? How do we know that Diddy played in that boy booty? He's telling, he can't wait to tell us. He can't wait to expose to the whole world that Diddy played in his ass. You hear me? That's why I'm telling you the impact of them child molesters and them sexual deviants. The impact of them sexual deviants, he done took that boy manhood, he done played in that boy dookie shoot. That nigga just said he woke up in the bed one time and there was women in the bed. He went to sleep, woke up, his ass hurt. Wait a minute, Ray J, but you claiming to be big blood, a big Pyru out of LA. Even though we know you's a bitch nigga, you ain't really like that. You woke up with your ass so where the fight at? Where the murder at? Ray J just told millions of young black boys that when a nigga drug you and run a motherfucking snake up your dookie chute, when you wake up and you realize your ass hurt and you shitting, before you can get to the toilet, you start shitting on yourself because your bowels have been knocked loose. He had knocked your bowels loose, right? Why you ain't killed Diddy? Why you ain't beat him up? Why is there no stories about you going to jail? Why you ain't called police? Call police. Hey! This nigga here. That nigga there went here. That nigga went in here. You ain't fought this nigga nothing. All you got is a story. 2, 3 years, 4 years later, a nigga bust your back up. Pimp C voice. He bust your back up and all you gotta do is come in here. You ain't fighting nigga. What are the stories about you black Diddy gang banging ass, Pyru ass nigga? What are the stories at? Don't forget, I'm blood, I'm blah, blah, blah. You bitch, gauge it. I knew it. When he got to hollering about that, when him and Wack Keisha, Wack 100, when they went to hollering about they got the transgender show, that ain't no normal, that's the best thing you could think of. You in the world of Hollywood, Brandy, Brandy your sister, you already got the ear of certain producers, right? We know what Hollywood look like now. We seen what happened to Jada Pinkett Smith, Will Smith. Look at Jada's son, look at this nigga. Look at this nigga. We know what's going on out there. So Ray J, his nigga beat your back up. What you trying to file a lawsuit or something? A little ride, part 2? He bust this nigga said, man, I woke up and it was some bitches. I went back to sleep, woke up and my butt was hurting. He looked behind him and it was just dookie oozing out his butt. And his asshole was so. And all he see is Diddy over there smiling. Nigga, what? Oh, nigga, where the fight at? Where the police at? The fire department, I'ma burn this bitch to the ground, bitch. I'ma stab your bitch ass up and I'ma burn this motherfucker to the ground. Ain't none of that happen. They trying to normalize being a fuck boy. They trying to, you a victim, Ray J? Since when you been a victim? You been a shit talking ass. I done fucked the whole Kardashian ass nigga. Come to find out, you really a bitch ass nigga. You really a victim minded. What's the difference between Ray J and Lil Rod right now? There is no difference. Ain't no difference. He a whole nigga and we ain't trying to hear that shit. Nigga, you been screaming at the moon, nigga, bust your back up, nigga. We don't believe you. I think you just trying to get some type of special. I think Ray J trying to get a check. I don't think Diddy drugged him at all. I think he did engage in some sexual deviant ass, baby oil ass shit. I think he really trying to get a check. I think he trying to latch on to the anti-Diddy sentiment, and I think he trying to get a check, bro. I think he's trying, but that's how pressed this nigga is. I think he wanted a book deal, a movie deal, a special 50 Cent didn't put him in the documentary. I think he's trying to get some type of spin-off series of 50 documentary. I don't believe that that Diddy did nothing to that nigga that he ain't want to have done to him. I don't believe that. I don't believe he drugged him at all. They don't take drugging Ray J. Ray J Ray J, Wack 100, them niggas is two of the worst niggas in urban culture, bro.
So let's talk about this Wack. You versus Wack 100, man. Like
Did you see it? Did you see it?
Yeah. After we left here, the back and forth with you, Wack 100, y'all got on the stream, academic stream. First time that you got on there, seemed like you was able to shut him down. Explain to me what is the issue between you and Wack 100 first and foremost.
First of all, Wack 100 is one of the most manipulative, he's one of the most destructive forces in black entertainment that we have right now. I'm gonna put, as far as destructive, I'm not even gonna put Charleston White on the list of most destructive forces. I think the most destructive, because we talked about the power of YouTube.
Right.
I think the most destructive forces in the YouTube streets, as we affectionately call it,
right.
I think it is Adam 22 and his whole No Jumper brand. Because that shit is Jerry Springer on steroids, bro. You put uneducated black men, gangbangers from the Crips and Bloods and Pyrus, you put them in a situation where they're going back and forth. It's natural animosity that exists between those people to begin with, right? You've turned street niggas into gossip columnists. You turn street niggas into just who are actively in the streets. You turn these niggas into just the most talkative bitch ass niggas in the world. They're not YouTubers, they ain't podcasters. You put these untrained, simple-minded ass fools in front of a camera and let them be, it's nigga shit gone wild, right? So when it comes to Wack 100, I don't even give a fuck about what he do to nobody else. But about a year ago, he came out and he told the story about what happened between 42 Doug and Offset at the QC compound in Atlanta when Offset and Doug got into it over a dice game gone wrong. He tells the story about 42 Doug getting socked, getting his pockets ripped, getting his pockets ran. All that shit was fake. I was in Atlanta when it happened. Doug from the east side of Detroit. I'm from the east side of Detroit. When the shit went down, I got 2 phone calls from 42 Twin, who was big, he was big homie in the whole, it's not 42, it's 42. And 42 stand, 4 and 2 is 6. That's 6 Mile. They some 6 Mile niggas. That's where, for people who don't know. It ain't 42, it's 42. 4 plus 2 is 6 Mile, right? So he told the story about what happened to Doug. When he initially told the story, he talked about how QCP opened up the studio so that Blueface and Quavo could work and do some music together. He said because he was the oldest person there, he was like the OG there. When the gambling game went crazy, went to the left and shit broke out, he separated the two, kind of like squashed the shit, right? That should have been the only story he told. He followed up the story about a year ago by saying that Doug got fired on, Offset ripped his pockets, chased him out the studio. Wasn't none of that shit true. And the follow-up to that shit, right? It's not about him just telling that story, but he understands that the follow-up and the consequences that Offset had to suffer for whatever happened was bad. Offset got beat, stripped, humiliated, the whole 9 yards, and Offset had to pay his way out of that trouble he was in. He had to pay. That shit just didn't get squashed just because. He had to pay to get another nigga off his ass. I didn't know that Offset was on GD time, right? When the shit first happened before it really exploded into him getting his ass spanked time and time again, the GDs from Chicago called me. My man RDN called me to bring Doug and Offset together because they knew it was gonna be an explosion and they didn't want to drag the GDs into that overall thing, you hear me? So he tried to bring some peace about this shit, but there wasn't no peace to be had because the niggas tried to get down when he knew he had the numbers on Doug, right? So that's one thing. I didn't like it when Wack came down with that story because if you're an OG, why is you telling the story knowing that both of these niggas is millionaires, they both got crews, and the issue is 3-4 years old, it's been deaded. Why are you telling the story now? When I cut into him, and I was talking to him and Loose Cannon, he said that he told the story because Offset told him to. And I said, because Offset told you to? What you mean Offset told you to? I mean, why would Offset tell you to rehash and retell this story? That don't make no motherfucking sense. He just simply said because Offset asked him to. I said, listen, my nigga, if you're an OG, you supposed to live and die on that crown you tried to put on your own top. Nigga, if you're an OG, you know you kind of stepped in, you squashed the conflict, it should have been just that. That story should have been a personal story, and you should never try to tell it to the public. But he told it for content purposes, and that's where the danger comes in at. You fast forward to a year later, he tells a story about T Grizzly supposedly telling on baby shooter, aka Tony Johnson. None of that's true. Wack 100 said that T Grizzly house got broke in September of 2022, right? Right? And it's a 3-year statute of limitation on felony burglary in the state of California. Wack 100 got on no jumper, then he got on academics and lads said, well, it's 3 plus 1. It's 3 years statute of limitation plus a 1-year tail. Ain't no such thing as a 3 plus 1. A statute of limitation is a hard number. It ain't a hard number plus another hard number, right? It's a 3-year statute of limitation for felony burglary. It's a 1-year statute of limitation for misdemeanor burglary. It was a felony burglary because he had $1 million worth of jewelry and other items taken out the house. The 3-year statute of limitation, it went from September 28 of 2022 to September 28, 2025. That's 3-year statute of limitation. Baby shooter is not sitting in jail for robbing T Grizzly house. He ain't been charged with it. And then on top of that, this nigga Wack 100 put out 2 pieces of fake paperwork. First of all, he put out a supplemental police investigation report that's written by Officer Hamilton. His badge number was 321-9842. I'll never forget that shit, because I'm the one who did the deep dive research into the shit and found out what was really going on. That whole police report is fake. And then when he was pressured to kind of like produce the paperwork, at one point in time, have y'all ever seen Wack 100 call a nigga a rat? With the exception of this and Zay Osama's situation, that he ain't been able to produce the shit. So then what he does, he goes on to the clubhouse shit and leak the whole T Grizzly supposed to be a snitch shit. Then he goes on Instagram, he have bitch ass Christopher glass jaw throw a fight ass Lovejoy. He have him drop the paperwork. He have his little bots, his YouTube, Instagram, clubhouse spies go to work on the shit. And then he goes to Adam 22. Adam 22 allowed this nigga to come on their show and commandeer and take over his whole platform. It's just like you let me come on Reallyfe Street Stars and me lodge some accusations against a motherfucker and you not push back to challenge the veracity of what I'm saying. You let me weaponize your platform for the purposes of trying to do what I want to do, to put out any sensational shit, try to destroy a nigga character. That's exactly what Adam did with this whole situation right here.